Welcome to the live where I will be talking to you guys about Canva apps you should know for social media. Now, one of the things I absolutely love talking about is how you can better maximize the use of Canva in your business. Now, a lot of us have Canva, a lot of us use social media, and we're in that high spirit of ramping up our business, thinking about generating revenue, growing our brand presence, growing our online presence, increasing just everything as it relates to her business. And a lot of us are using Canva. So in this session, I'm going to talk to you guys about how you can utilize Canva and specifically the apps to help you to be more efficient with creating your content using Canva. Now, one of the things I want to share with you is that Canva can be used not just for graphic designing, as how it initially started out, but for literally anything: content creation, creating your videos, creating websites, and anything else that you can think of, right? So I am Carey Digital for those of you who are new to me. And if you are watching the replay, I want you to just comment and tell me, what are you most excited about as it relates to these Canva apps? Like, which ones will you be utilizing? And I have over 9 apps that I'll be introducing to you today. Some of them you might have heard about the platform, but have never utilized it. So I'm going to share with you how you can utilize these apps in Canva. And one of the things I want to share with you, the very first thing I want to share with you is, what is even Canva apps? So I know a lot of persons who have talked to before, like, yeah, man, I use Canva, but Canva apps, what is that? So the first thing I want you guys to know is that Canva apps is where Canva has worked with third party, or is working with third party developers and creators, specifically in the area of creating apps or app development, to provide ease of use in using other tools for whether productivity, for efficiency, for planning and creating your posts, or scheduling your post, for reviewing your designs using AI. That's the exciting thing that I want to share as well. So those are some of the things that that is just a part of Canva apps. So I'm going to quickly show you what that looks like. And the first thing is, where do you even find Canva apps? And so on Canva, what you want to do here is to go to your home page. So for those of you who are not aware, you go to your home page, and on the left hand tab you will see apps. Once you select apps, you will see all the apps available to you. Of course, you can scroll through and just browse at your own leisure. So you'll see trending apps, you will see some of Canva's staff favorites from 2024, and this page updates quite regularly, and there are over 100 apps here, right? And some of these apps, like I said, are integrated with platforms that we already use and love. So even Instagram, you can easily utilize Canva apps through in the Canva app Instagram through this platform. Another thing that I want to share with you is just how you can easily find through this platform how you can easily find these apps and utilize them. Like I said, I'll just be going through a few of them. I won't be showing you everything, right? But as much as I can to help you to just get started, especially if you're in that stage of, yeah, man, I already know how to create my designs in Canva. Now I just need to know how to make my work life more efficient and how to be more productive. So this is what the Canva apps marketplace looks like. I'm just going to also go through and share with you just a little bit more about Canva apps for those of you who are not sure. So let me share this, right? So like I said, it's third-party apps, and there are some licensing features that you should be aware of. So one of the things you need to know is that some apps were created by Canva, and then there were others that were also developed or used through the integration of Canva. And so one of the things I want to share with you as it relates to that is that there are permissions. So some apps that you utilize, it's free to utilize. However, some apps you have to have credits, or you already have to have an account with that particular platform. So for instance, if you're going to use, if you're using MailChimp, or if you're using the app called Later for social media scheduling, you already have to have an account. So these are some key things to note as relates to Canva apps. So if you have, some of these apps that you're already utilizing, some of these software you're already utilizing, chances are there's some amount of Canva integration that you should be aware of and can utilize to make your life easier. So there are some apps that I've been using, and when I discover that Canva is easily integrated and I don't have to download my graphics or download my videos in order to post them or schedule them or create content, it was just a game changer for me. All right, so I'm going to go into how you can just the apps. So let me just jump in and share with you the Canva apps that I have for you guys. All right, so the first feature or segment I'll be sharing with you guys is Canva apps, what I call or define as design enhancers. So the first one here is Social Below. And this app is specifically created to, like a content creation companion. So I'm going to go and show you how you can easily find that. So one of the things you'd have to do when you go into Canva is to search for the exact name of the app, right? Another plug you can do as well is to type in the search bar. So let me just go to the search bar and type social media. Once I search social media, what you'll see are some related apps that you can utilize for social media. So whether it's to plan your content, schedule your content, design your content, right? But for this particular app, I'm going to just type in Social Below, which is already here, by the way, right? But I'm just going to type it in. And it's, as I said earlier, it is an AI powered app, right? And like this one specifically was created by a third-party user. So it's your content creation companion. So you can create your content and receive feedback on the spot, right? So we're going to jump into this and I'm going to show you exactly how you can utilize it. So let's use this in a design. And I'm going to say Instagram and post, and I'm using 5:4 ratio. This is very important to note that we need to be utilizing the correct aspect ratio for our social media graphics. All right. So now we have our new design, and with social media, like I said, it's your content creation companion. And the first thing you'll see here is, what do you want to create? Now, I am thinking in my mind that, I can either create like a caption, or I just wanted to review a design. So like I said earlier, this particular app is great not only for design enhancement, but also if you want to create captions, if you want to create a blog post, this app is very useful for that. But for this particular purpose, I'm going to do a design review. Now, as you realize, I have a blank canvas here. I don't have anything that I designed. So what I'm going to do is go to my section that says projects, and I'm going to look for one of my most recent designs. And this was one that was generated by AI. Should I add it? Right? And I'm going to show you a little bit, or tell you a little bit more about this. So this is not the best design, but this is just a design that I generated with AI, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to even enhance this particular design, right? So I'm going to say use current design, and I'm using this current design so I can get feedback on the design. So it's going to give me feedback on what this design looks like, feels like. Is it, is there anything off alignment, that kind of thing, right? And I'm going to select export. So now it's currently in the process of reviewing my design. If I wanted to, I can just, or to just make things easy, I'm just going to say review my design layout and color palette. Do they complement each other? Right? Key to note with this particular app, you must have tokens or credits. So as you realize here, I have over 3,000 token remaining. And each time I use it, the token, it gets less, right? And so this interaction will use 189 tokens. One of the things I also want to point out to you is that you don't need a login or sign up in this initial stage. So you can go ahead and just create your content. So I'm going to click here and select create content, and it's taking some time to generate. So while it's generating, as I said earlier, one of the things that about social below is that you can use it for various purposes. So you want to review your design, if you want to create a blog post, you just go through, put in your topic, put in your keywords, even choose your graphic that you want as well. All right. So I said I was just using the prompt, engage in a meaningful, informative review related to the given design, provide insights, exchange ideas, and so on and so forth. And then you'll realize it says using which keywords, right? So it says the design layout is clean and minimalistic, which is effective for professional business presentation. The alignment and spaces are well executed, ensuring readability and focus. Now, here is the key part. It says, however, the color palette might need some reconsideration. The heavy use of purple tones, while cohesive, can be overpowering and may not appeal to all audiences. So one of the things I want to point out to you, so if you don't consider yourself very strong in terms of creating designs, and sometimes you're kind of iffy about how what your design style is like, this particular tool can give you like a review telling you exactly what you need to change. And so based on those notes, you're going to go in and make the changes. So for me, I do agree that this design is too purple, right? So one of the things I could do is just easily go to my brand kit and just change the colors. And if I wanted, I could just move around the different design elements, right? So that is just one of the key things about this app. Like I said earlier, this app is called Social Below, right? Another thing that it says, balancing the bold hues with neutral tones might also enhance the design's professional appeal. I think this particular app is so useful because it is giving me all the feedback that I need on how I can improve this design. And this is especially important to me because if I don't have the background in design, if I'm not really strong in design, but I'm always using Canva and I want some review, you can utilize Social Below. All right. So I want you to drop in the box like any questions you may have, as it relates to utilizing Canva apps or utilizing Canva apps specifically for social media. What is something that you're creating in social media or designing in social media? You're like, yeah, man, I would really love an app to help me to do that. And some of the apps I'll be introducing to you are AI powered, which I think is just the plus, and a lot of them also helps with productivity. So earlier I just showed you Social Below, and like I said, that particular app will help you significantly in helping you to improve your design overall, especially if you don't consider yourself very strong in design. Okay, so the other app I am going to introduce to you is Carousel Studio. Now, this is one of my personal favorite apps. When I first discovered it, I was like, yeah, man, this app is one that I love. By the way, I need to plug and tell you that this presentation or this video, what you're seeing here for all the apps I'm showing you, is created in whiteboard in Canva. So, whiteboard can be utilized as a mind map, but there are just so many other ways you can use whiteboard, and this is just one of the ways. And it's the first time utilizing it in this particular format for, like a video presentation. So, yeah. All right. So we're going to jump into looking at this particular app called Carousel Studio. All right. And what we're going to see here or learn about Carousel Studio is that you can create eye-catching carousels in 5 minutes. So you enter a topic, generate a beautiful looking carousel ready to be posted on LinkedIn. So that's the key thing to note. the carousel that you'll be creating here in Canva for this using Carousel Studio is for LinkedIn. But I want to give you a bonus, so keep watching and I'm going to tell you exactly what that is. So because I know and I have the awareness that Carousel Studio is only for LinkedIn, I'm going to look for creating a LinkedIn design. So I'm going to look for a LinkedIn carousel. And know that I have my LinkedIn carousel. One of the key things I noted is it says create a 1080 by 1080 pixels canvas instead, right? So though I selected LinkedIn carousel, I have to be very mindful that it wants the 1080 by 1080 pixel dimension. So I'm going to go to resize and I am just going to choose Instagram post square because that is the same size as the LinkedIn post that they want or that is compatible with this app. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and resize this particular design. All right, so I'm resizing this design and it's all good. So know that I have the correct size, and I just want to point out to you that if you don't have the correct size or correct dimensions for this particular graphic, you won't be able to do anything. That's literally it. Is going to tell you, or you won't be able to generate a really good result, right? So I'm going to enter the topic. So now I can say how to create a or probably say build a brand. Yeah, how to create a brand for a business as a new entrepreneur. So that is my, okay, let's keep it short because it's only 50 characters, key to note. Right, so I've entered my topic, how to create a brand for a business, and now I'm going to generate. But before I generate, one of the things I can go ahead and do is choose the background shape. Maybe I don't want any, maybe I want, but I'm going to choose a square. As it says, background shapes help to make the slides more interesting, and I can go ahead and choose my color palette, choose a color from my color palette. If you don't have your brand kit set up, if you don't have your brand identity and your brand colors, then you can go ahead and choose something here. But like I always talk about, it is important to have a visual brand identity, especially if you're creating content and you want to be consistent. So in this case, because I have a brand identity set up, I am going to instead select a color and choose a color from my color palette. So I've selected this green here, and then I'm going to select another color to kind of soften it up a bit, or maybe I'll just swap it around. So I'm going to choose this purple, and then I'm going to choose like this lighter tone, and then I can go to the advanced section and I can put in my company name. Now that I have everything ready, I'm going to click generate. For this app, there's no indication or notification that I need to use what would I say, any tokens. I don't have any app permissions, so I can just easily go ahead, utilize this app, and it will generate all the slides that I need for this carousel, and it will create up to 5 slides. Again, this app is called Carousel Studio. So if you have been enjoying this video so far, I want you to just give this video a like to help me to increase my visibility and reach via social media. And if you have been just loving the content here or just loving this video, I'd love for you to subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, I'd love for you to subscribe to this video. All right, so now that our carousel is generated, you might realize that there are a few little things that is out of place, but there's nothing that we cannot do. So I'm going to just delete that square. So there are some squares that pop up here in front of the text. I'm going to delete them. And then we're just going to quickly review what the content is like. So let me delete the first page. Right. So the first page says how to create a brand for a business. That's exactly the topic that I wanted the content to be created on. And it says in 4 steps, swipe to learn more. Right. This is pretty much in line with how, when you're creating a carousel, these are the things, the call to action, the topic, that kind of thing, keeping it simple. And then for slide 1, it says understand your audience, which is a good tip. Define your brand identity, which is another good tip. Create a cohesive visual identity. And lastly, it says create a unique brand voice. Now, the key thing I want to point out to you, you are the knowledge expert, you are the person who has the knowledge. So of course this was generated by AI. If there's anything you don't agree with, and if you want it to sound more like your brand voice, similar as it says here, which will reflect your personality and bring out the authenticity of your brand, then you're going to go in and make some tweaks. You're going to go in and make some tweaks to this text, right? Also, for the elements in the background, if you don't love it, one of the things you can also do is go to your brand and just change the color of this, right? You can also go ahead and delete any elements that you don't want. But what this does, I should say, is makes the process of designing carousels so much easier, right? So I can go in and I can change the layout of the elements on my page, right? I can even change the colors eventually if I want. I can go ahead and delete any unnecessary text, or if I want to change the layout slightly, that is something I can do. If I want it to match, and ideally I would want it to match my brand, the font I'm using, the colors I'm using, I can just select the font and I can change the font by going to my brand kit, right? So these are some quick things you can do. So once you have created your carousel utilizing Carousel Studio, which is really an app for you to create your LinkedIn post, you can go in and make all the necessary changes. If you think it's too text heavy, again, you can trim it down. This is just really making your process of content creation much easier and more efficient, right? So let me know what you think about this particular app. I personally love it. It's a favorite of mine. And if you're like, well, I don't really create content for LinkedIn, I'd really love to create more carousels for Instagram, I'm going to show you how you can easily repurpose, right? Or I would say resize this particular carousel for Instagram. So I'm going to go ahead and select resize. And resize is one of the features that comes with Canva Pro. So if you don't have Canva Pro, then you can upgrade to get access to features like resize, which is one of my most used features in Canva. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to search for Instagram. And I'm going to use Instagram post 1080 by 1350. Like I said, it is always important to ensure that you're selecting the correct format and aspect ratio for the content you're creating. All right, so I'm going to select Instagram post. And if I wanted to, I could resize this design, which means it overwrites everything that is already here in terms of dimension, layout, or I can copy and resize. So in this case, I'm going to copy and resize. Also, if it's a case where you're going to be creating content on LinkedIn and on Instagram, I would suggest making all the edits you want in one design and then you resize, right? So you make the process much easier. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and resize this design. And I'm going to open it now. And now you're seeing the format for Instagram carousels. Again, like I mentioned earlier, always ensure before you do any resizes or any, repurposing, ensure that the original design has the layout, the colors, your brand visual identity, everything in alignment with what you want your design to look like. And if you are like scratching your head and wondering if your design is really good or useful, I would say go to the app, which I just showed you earlier, called Social Below. And this will help to give you like a really good feedback on your design. So if you're still like, you know what, I created this carousel, I don't think it's the best, you can utilize Social Below to give you a review on your designs, right? So this is the second app that I've shown you as it relates to Canva apps for social media. Now I am going to jump over and check my comments. If you have any comments, drop them in the box below. Ask me the question. If you are watching the replay, ask me the questions. If there's something that I shared that you're not clear on, please ask all the questions. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to answer your questions. I'm here to show you how you can better utilize Canva. All right. So I am going to, mm, mm, mm. I'm now going to share with you. All right, let's get this in. I'm going to share with you my other app, right? And this one is under the category of preview and quality control. Preview and quality control. Now, this section is another favorite for me, right? Because here's the thing, with preview and quality control, what this helps you to do is that after you have designed all your graphics and all your content in Canva, now you can be like, all right, I'm not so sure, maybe not so confident. So here's what I'm going to use a feature that can help me to get access to, or better understand or create better content or layout that will engage my audience or, really represent my brand. So one of the ones that I absolutely personally love is social previewer. Now with social previewer, what it does is that it helps you to take the guesswork out of your design and wondering if your design is created specifically for a particular app. So this is perfect if you are created on multiple social media platforms. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new design, and I'm going to say Instagram portraits. Let's look for that. All right. All right. It says real cover. We can work with real cover. All right. All right. So the app is up now and it says export your design to create a preview. Now, one of the things I'll be doing here is just to share with you like a graphic that I've created before, or in this case, I could even use a template and we'll get an exact idea of what it would look like when it is published on either of these platforms, whether it's YouTube for YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and Facebook Reels and TikTok, right? We all know the situation with TikTok, but just in case. All right, so select your platform of your choice. In this case, I'm going to choose Instagram Reels, right? And typically it's saying it should be a MP4 video, right? So we all know that as it relates to and we are back, guys. So I had just a little bit of a technical issue, but let's jump right back into it. So that's as a quick recap. one of the things that we've just been covering is Canva apps for social media. Canva apps that you can utilize to help to make your design process much easier when you're creating content for social media for any platform that you can think about. And so far we've covered social below, or would I say the category of design enhancers or design enhancer apps. And the first one we covered was social below, and that one is perfect if you want some assistance or just a review of what your design looks like, or if you want even assistance with creating your blog post. That's not social media, but just an idea. Or if, for instance, you want to create, graphics for or captions, I should say, for social media, that app is perfect. And then the other app that we touched on was Carousel Studio. No, that's my favorite, as you can see from the smile. But that app is perfect if you're creating carousels for LinkedIn. And then I was just walking you through how you can utilize that particular app to help you to even create carousels for Instagram just by using the feature resize. So if you've just been liking this video, give it a thumbs up just to help with, just reach and visibility via social media here on YouTube, as well as if you are first time watching this video, you absolutely been liking the content shared, please subscribe to the channel. All right, so let's dive right back into everything. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share with you the other app that I was talking about earlier. So the app I was talking about here is how you can preview and do some quality control for your graphics. And the app that I'm referring to here for the first one under this category is Social Preview, right? So I'm going to select here, and what you'll see, and like I said, if you want to find any particular app, just go to the tab on the left hand side of your home page called apps, and you can search for the apps here. Like I mentioned earlier, also some of these apps are third-party apps, which means Canva doesn't have total control over them, and some of them requires you to have like tokens and credits or access to the platform by creating an account. So some of them will even prompt you. So those are very clear indications. So I'm going to select here a new design. I'm going to choose Instagram Reel. All right. Now that I've selected Instagram Reel, you'll realize I got a blank canvas. So what I can do here is to export my design to create a preview for any platform of my choice: YouTube, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok, and Facebook Reels. Now, if like in this case, it's a blank canvas, which means there's nothing here to really preview. But I'm going to just go to my projects, and I'm going to choose a graphic here. So let me just try to choose a reel. And I'm going to choose a design that I already have. Right. So I already have this design. I'm going to choose Instagram Reels, and it's going to be generating a preview of what it would look like. So I'm going to select export. And once I've selected export, what it will be doing is generating that preview. All right. And so while I am waiting, right, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments box below. Let me know your thoughts, any questions that you have, and I'll be glad to just respond to you and let you know or clear up anything you're not sure of. All right, so for this Instagram reel, what you're seeing is exactly how the reel looks or will look when published on Instagram as reels. So this clip is around what? I think it is 14.8 seconds long. And so I'm actually seeing the video length here being played. And this is showing me what it would look like on Instagram. And I can go ahead and give it a title. So I would say POV for journal. Yeah, just a random title in this case. All right. And this is what it looked like. So there's nothing else I can do except to see what it would look like. So again, if you're not sure, if you're not so confident about your design skills, if it's your first time creating videos on Canva or using Canva, and you want to have a better idea of what it would look like, if it's the first time probably publishing to a platform, this is a great tool to use, and it's called Social Preview. All right, so let's jump back in, and we're going to go over to our next app, which is Meta Design Check. Now, this is perfect for my entrepreneurs or just my marketers who are creating designs and publishing ads on Facebook or Instagram, right? And I'm going to just click here so you can see what that looks like. And when you select Meta Design Check, I want you to know this is actually an app created by Meta. So everything that is seen here or the feedback you get is from Meta. Like I said earlier, a lot of these apps are third-party apps, not created by Canva. And so you will need permission for some, token for some, but for this particular app, you don't need any token. You don't really need any permission either, except access to like your Facebook. But we're going to go through it. So let's jump in. So here I'm going to choose use a new design. By the way, if you have been following, you realize you don't always have to use a new design. You can actually use an existing design, right? And that's why it's important for you to have your designs in a folder, because if you have designs that's not in a folder, it's going to be a little bit more challenging for you to find your designs. So all the designs that I've been doing before, they weren't saved in a folder, so I can't easily find them. So if I want to probably get access to something that I've created before, I'd probably have to just search a design that I had created. So let me just choose one that I created before, right? So this is a reel that I had created, and I'm going to use Meta Design Check for it to give me a feedback if this is good for an ad. Now, once I've selected Meta Design Check and it opens with my existing design or my new design, I can go ahead and say select the placement. So I can either select the placement for reels, stories, or feed. So those are the three options that you have. And if it meets the needs, then of course it will give you a good to go or a thumbs up. If it's not good, you'll get a note. So let's select reels, and it's doing its check. I'm going to choose MP4 video, right? And I'm going to select all pages. If I wanted to select a specific page, I could go ahead and do that as well. So I could select the current page or all pages. In this case, I'm choosing all pages, and I'm going to select export. Now that we have selected export, it is generating and just checking all the creatives to see if everything is good. So if, for instance, my text isn't aligned or if it is falling off the page, it's going to flag it, right? That is something I want you to be very aware of. All right, so it's taking a little long. Of course, it's a video, so it's a little heavy and it's doing its checks. All right, so this design follows our best practice. That's all we wanted to know. Well, we created our design in Canva. Now we want to know if it is good to run a Facebook ad or Instagram ad. This is a good way to just check before you spend all your money running ads, and then it might not be performing well just based on the design layout and if it doesn't fit the aspect ratio, all of that. So I can watch, right? So this is just how you can easily utilize this feature called Meta Design Check. Now, one of the things I want to point out to you guys, and they have listed or noted it here, this app checks for your Canva design and to ensure it adheres to your Facebook and your Instagram best practices, but it does not review your design content. So in your own way and in your own time, please do your checks. Ensure that the spelling that you're using on your graphic is correct. You want to ensure that the colors you're using is correct. If you're wondering if it would check for colors, it won't check for that. It is just simply checking if your design is within the standards or meets the best practice standards for Meta, right? So it won't check for layout and that kind of thing, right? So key to note. All right, so the next app I'm going to share with you guys is, wait for it, guys, wait for it. The next app I'm going to share with you guys, or the category rather, is video and subtitle tools. Now, this is a big one because a lot of us are creating videos, we're creating our reels, and we're creating videos on LinkedIn, and we're doing YouTube videos. So these apps are pretty good. And the first one I'm introducing you guys to is subtitles. Now, I must mention to you that captions in Canva is automatically generated, right? So If you want to utilize or probably give your captions a style or quote unquote, not quote unquote, but subtitle caption, if you want to give it a particular style, you can utilize subtitles. And this is also a third party app. With this third party app, I have to mention to you that this app requires tokens. So you must have some tokens to utilize this one. So I'm going to go here and choose YouTube. I'm going to choose YouTube ad, landscape, and it pops up a blank canvas. Again, if you wanted to generate the subtitles, you would have to upload your video to Canva, right? So I'm going to go into videos, and I could easily go in and look for a video that I've already uploaded. This video does not have any audio, so I'm going to try and find a video with audio. So I'm going to select this one. All right. And if for any reason you upload your video and you realize you're not seeing the feature here for the app, you can just scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page and you'll see all the apps that I opened before. So subtitles, key to note, it says it has 1 minute and 9 seconds of video processing left, which means anything over that, I'll be required to purchase credits, like it says here. And if I want to purchase credits, I simply click this link and it will direct me. I also have the option to see the history, so I can see all the other videos that I created captions for, which is pretty good, I would say. So if I want to go in and, probably make any changes, that kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and select start. This is a 40-second video. I think I should trim it down a little. All right, let me trim it down. All right, so before I utilize this one, I do realize this one does not have a video or the version either, because a lot of these were created. Okay. Let me find one. All right, good. So you record for each slide or page as necessary. All right, perfect. So I have a video here, and I am going to go ahead, right? If I wanted to make some edits and, change everything, like in terms of color and, brightness, I could go ahead and do that, but that's not the focus here. All right, so now we have our video. I'm going to go to subtitles. I'm going to scroll all the way down, and I'm going to start and generate. All right, and I'm going to select export. Like it says, hold tight. Larger designs may take longer, that kind of thing. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Do you have any questions for me? Comment below and let me know. I see a few of you guys here who have joined the session. So no, I just really love to hear from you if you have any questions. If you're watching this replay and you have any questions, just drop them in the comments and I will be sure to respond to you. All right. All right. So now that our video is processed, we can now choose the style of our subtitles, or as we call it, captions. So we have elegant, we have neat, we have chic, we have classic, we have clear, and we have bold. For this purpose, I am going to choose, it doesn't matter which one we choose, to be honest, but I'm choosing neat in this case. And I also have the option to change the size, so I can go small, large, extra large. And what you're seeing here on the left is just me being able to preview what the text will look like before I go ahead and generate. Because like I said, if you generate this graphic, then not graphic, but this video and the subtitles, you're going to be using some credits, right? And I can change the position of where I want my text as well. I'm going to choose bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and generate, and this will also take, and you record for each slide or page as necessary. You can, or you can resume. You also have the option to whether you want just to be your camera showing or your camera as well. All right. So as you realize, it is being generated, or it has been generated, and I am going to generate video with subtitles. So at each step or every step of the way, what it is doing is just giving you a preview to see if you're okay. This is what it looks like. This is what it, everything before you go ahead. All right. Again, if you have been just liking this video, if you are like interested in learning more about Canva apps for any other platform or other uses, let me know. I'm excited to just dive deeper into Canva apps and how you can utilize them and the third-party integration that can make your work life much easier, right? So we're generating this video. All right, let me just check my comments. All right. So we're almost there. Almost there. Hang tight. We're almost there. All right. So our video is generated with our caption. So let's play it so we can add it to the design. So I can delete the one I have here and then I can add this to the design. All right. And I could also view in full screen if I wanted to. All right. So we're not going to do that, but we're just going to show you here. And let's play the video and see. All right, it's still doing some work in the background. So we'll just wait a bit. And you record for each. Ah, perfect. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. All right, so I'm going to play this video. I'm going to do full screen. And you record for each slide or page as necessary. You can, or you can resume. You also have the option to whether you want it just to be your camera showing or your camera as well as the screen. So you know how you're probably doing like a tutorial. Or all right, so that's an example. Like I mentioned earlier, captions are automatically generated in Canva. That's just a new feature in Canva. Like, however, if you want your captions to have a more of a style, you can utilize the Canva app subtitles to help you. And this is a third-party app, and you will require credits in order to utilize it. All right, perfect. Now we're going to jump right over into our next not subtitle, but Canva app, which is called Translate Subtitles. Now, this is perfect if you are bilingual, if your audience that you're reaching out to is, multilingual, bilingual. This is perfect. You can translate your subtitles. In this era, the age that we're living in now, our content isn't only being watched by persons in a particular geographical location. You have persons who are watching a video from all over. For instance, I have viewers from Indonesia, right? And not everyone who watched my video might be watching it on audio. They're reading, right? And it's also about accessibility as well. And we want our content to be more accessible. So this is one of the things that you can do to make your content more accessible for all, right? And it's called Translate Subtitles. And it's pretty much straightforward. Like I said, Translate Subtitles is pretty much you just translating the titles. Yeah. So I'm going to use this in a new design. So I'm going to choose video. And this is also associated with the previous app I showed you, which is called Subtitles. So what you'll realize here, as it is being generated, it will tell me how many tokens or I have, or how many minutes I have, I should say, and if I need to purchase crates. No, it's the same app developers who created Translate app and Translate Subtitle. However, what I've realized here is that you have your own amount of credits you can utilize for each video, right? So you don't have anything to worry about. So I'm going to go back here and look for uploads. I'm going to go and look for a video that I have. All right, let me scroll all the way down to a video that I have. All right, so I've inserted my video and I'm going to click start. All right, so we're generating this to get our subtitles translated. And I believe you can choose for Spanish and French, those languages that's not English, or whichever language that you have in mind, you can do that. So it's taken a little while to read the video or generate what it needs to get generated. So we'll have to wait around a bit, of course. So, you can run, go drink some water, and then come back and just hope that your video is generated. But it all depends on how heavy your file is as well. So those are just some things you want to bear in mind. All right. All right. So we have our text here. And I want to translate it to another language. And have some understanding. All right, so I'm going to generate. Again, this will take some time as well. And you record for each slide. All right, so let me continue. One of the things you want to do before you go through the entire process of generating or translating your text, or even just adding captions, is just to read line by line to ensure that your audio is was translated into the text, right? The correct text, because sometimes the spelling might be incorrect, or maybe based on how you pronounce it, your words, it might interpret it to mean something else. So that's something you want to be mindful of. So I'm okay with it. I'm going to choose translate your subtitles. And again, this will take some time as well. So if you have just been loving this video, I want you to just give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more live content like this, please subscribe to my channel, Carey Digital. And you record for each slide or page as necessary. You can or you can resume. I'm gonna pause this. Right, so you can just subscribe to my channel, Carey Digital. I go live and I do sessions like this at least once monthly, just showing you how you can better utilize and maximize your use of Canva. So I'm generating my video with subtitles here again. All right. With Monday, or my next video, I should say, which is on Monday, of course, is on Canva apps and how, or just not Canva apps, but Canva for business, and how you can utilize Canva for business in 2025 to help you to be more efficient and productive. So I'm excited about that, because I'll be sharing how I personally utilize Canva in business and how I help my clients and other entrepreneurs to better utilize Canva. I'll be diving into how you can utilize Canva websites to create even client portals or landing pages or even sales pages. I'll be sharing with you how you can utilize Canva for social media, how you can utilize Canva for presentations. There's just so much that I have in store, and I can't wait for you guys to see that in my video, which is the next video. So if that's something you want to see, just subscribe to my channel, and I'm excited to just share with you. All right. So if video is generated, Unfortunately, I've just been having some technical issues, but guess what? We're going to jump right in nonetheless and just keep going. So, the other feature I want to just touch on for you guys is how you can utilize captions, or utilize this Canva app to make captions or creating captions much easier using Canva.